Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Amy and I am on a financial freedom journey with my family, and I share all about that and more on this channel. Today we're going to be talking about our January budget recap. I love filming these because it's a really great reflection point on the month and how it went, and I really enjoy sharing with you guys how we actually spend our money versus how we plan to spend our money, because they're usually pretty different, even though I feel like we've gotten better over the years because we've been consistently budgeting for about 3 years now. I feel like we've gotten significantly better than we used to be about being realistic with our budget and making sure that we're budgeting for the things that we need to be. So let's go ahead and get started. So our W-2 income, this typically does not change, which it did not this month. We brought in $7,200, and this is what we base our budget off of when I do our budget videos. But we also usually have our side hustle income as well. So I do share every single Friday what we received in side hustle income. So if that's something that you're interested in, make sure that you check out my Debt-Free Friday videos. And we made $413 in side hustle income for the month of January, which is really great. So that brings our total income to $7,613. So that is what we had to use this month of January for all of our different budget categories. So let's go ahead and get into our fixed categories first. So our first category, of course, is our mortgage. So we actually did have an update on this, and we will for March, which I won't talk too much about that, but basically our house is a new build. And I know I've talked about this a little bit in other videos, but we weren't sure about like the tax situation for our property taxes because it was a new build. So we actually got our 2022 property tax bill, and it was lower than expected, which I do think that they're going to like fix it eventually. So we did actually get our mortgage reduced a little bit. So for March, it's actually a little bit lower than we were paying $2,050, but we actually paid $2,100 because we rounded up. So I need to kind of decide what we want to do with that. I think we're going to leave it at $2,100 and just put the extra to principal. And like I said, here, in the next few months, or for sure by the next time we get our next property bill, it'll definitely be fixed. So I'm assuming at that point our mortgage is going to go up significantly, because right now our mortgage, our escrow amount is based on the property taxes that are clearly not right because it was based on when our house was not built yet. So that's a whole thing. If you have dealt with that, if you've ever built or bought a new build, let me know in the comments down below how that worked out for you. I've talked to a couple of you guys on Instagram that have said that it just corrected itself like the next property tax year for you. And then for like that year, you just had to pay higher into your escrow to like make up the difference. So we'll figure that out. I'm not too concerned about it, but it is something that we're keeping an eye on just because we know like our mortgage, our escrow amount is really not accurate right now. We're definitely under paying into it. And so the next time we have to pay property taxes, they'll most likely be going up significantly. So sorry, I don't mean to get too off track, but I figured I would mention that because that's something that we dealt with this month. So next up is our subscriptions. So this right now is just our Netflix subscription and our Peloton subscription. We budgeted $54 and we spent $54 for that. And that was zero difference, and that's at 0.7%. Then we have our utilities. So for this month, this was just our electric and our internet. We had budgeted $310 and we actually spent $387. So our electric gas bill was significantly higher than we expected. So that was kind of a bummer. We're still, like I said, this is a new build. We moved in August. So we are still kind of trying to figure out like the sweet spot on our electric and gas bill. So yeah, this is our first winter here. So we're kind of just trying to figure it out. If you're new here, we live in Wisconsin. It's very cold here. So that's definitely why our bill was so high. It was, I think, $327. Yes, it was $327 for the month. And that was gas and electric. But there was a large part of December in Wisconsin that was really, really, really cold. So I wasn't too surprised, but I was, expecting it to be a little bit less, but it's all good. we will just pay it and move on. Again, we're still trying to get our bearings with this bill and figure it out. I feel like at our old house, we lived there for about 4.5 years. At our old house, we knew like almost to the penny, pretty much like most months, what our bill was going to be just based on living there for so many years. So I'm sure we'll get to that point here as well, but it's just taking a bit. So next up is something that we did not initially budget for, but we decided to do kind of randomly. So they had come out with an announcement in the month of January, I think, about 529 plans and being able to roll them into retirement plans. So I don't know if you guys saw that, but there's a bunch of stipulations, and I won't go too much into it because I am not, an expert by any means on this, but basically they are allowing you to roll up to, I believe it's $15,000 or 35. I can't remember now. Now I'm misspeaking, but a few $1,000s you're able to roll from a 529 to a retirement plan if your kids don't go to college. So that is a huge benefit because before we weren't really putting much into this because it was, just earmarked for college and stuff like that. But with that new bill that they had passed or whatever it is, there's more flexibility with 529. So I was just kind of excited about that announcement. So I threw $200 between the 3 kids and was like, here you go. So it was kind of random that we did that. We weren't planning on doing it, but I was just really excited about that announcement. So I was like, you know what? Let's just go ahead and put this extra money that we have right now into the 529. So I don't think we'll do that every single month. We might try to throw like larger chunks at it throughout the year when we do have some extra income now, because I do feel like better about that account now. I do definitely want to contribute to it for my kids because I think it's really cool that you're able to use it if they don't use it for school to be able to use it for retirement. That's a huge benefit for your kids. So yeah, that's kind of our plan for now. Our plan for now is that we don't really have a plan for now, but we're kind of trying to figure that out. For now, we are not adding it to our monthly budget, but we may in the future. So I was just excited by the announcement and kind of was like, let's just go ahead and put some money in here. So next line item is preschool. So my daughter goes to preschool a few times a week, and that works out really well for her. She'll actually be starting 4K in the fall, and we are hoping to get my youngest enrolled in preschool soon. He just turned 1 in January, and so he's on the wait list for her school, and so we're hoping that he'll get in there soon. And she'll also be, like I said, starting 4K in the fall. So she will only be doing this daycare for, a few more months until she starts 4K. So we had budgeted $832. We actually spent $760 because her amount did go down a little bit this month because she is older now. She moved up to an older room. And so the rate is a little bit cheaper when they move up to the older kid, pre-K room. So that was cool. It did go down a little bit. So I will take the savings where I can. Then next up is our giving category. So we budget $100 every single month to go to St. Jude, which is a children's hospital, and they do some really amazing things for some kiddos and their families, and it's just a really great organization. So we happily support them every single month and have for quite a while. So spending is our next category. So my husband and I both get personal spending money every single month. That's just something that we have always done, and when we became debt-free, we actually increased it a little bit. So typically we budget $200 for spending money. That's $100 for each of us. But this month I actually only took 50 of my $100 because we were doing a no spend month. And so I just figured I actually have some personal money that's saved from a few months. So I didn't really need the full 100 anyway. So I just wanted to be able to put that, back into our budget and not spend another $100. So that was cool. Then gas. So this is gas for our car. We did not do a ton of driving in January. Again, we live in Wisconsin. It's very cold here, and we just don't leave the house as much in the wintertime because there's, not many places to go and stuff. So we saved money on gas this month quite a bit. We actually saved $81 on gas, which was great. And although I think we did need to fill up right in the beginning of February, the 1st or 2nd. So, this month might be a little bit higher just based on when we get gas, but, I'll take the win. Then we have groceries. If you guys follow me on Instagram, I've been sharing more in depth about grocery shopping and a few grocery hauls on Instagram. And I think I've uploaded them as well on shorts. So if you guys want to go check those out, just go to the shorts section of my YouTube page and you can see some of those hauls. But I did primarily stick to my once a month Costco haul, and then every week or so, I think there was one time where I went like a week and a half, but pretty much every week I was going to Aldi, and that definitely did save us money. So our grocery budget is $800. We spent $782. Now keep in mind, we really do need to go get groceries like in the next day, or really, I mean, we're like pretty low right now. So we were under budget for groceries, but I think that is a little bit deceiving because we probably could have or should have gone grocery shopping like right before the month ended, but we kind of held out just because we were being lazy. So we really need to go grocery shopping. Doing the Costco and Aldi thing definitely saved us money. It was really nice. I also meal planned pretty strictly the entire month of January because we were doing that no spend. So I was meal planning every single week and we did not eat out at all. So this is our grocery spending without eating out, which is amazing that we were still under budget and also did not eat out at all, which I'll get to in a minute. But yes, very proud of that. And I'm hoping that we will continue that this month by doing our once a month Costco haul and then just filling in with Aldi. I do feel like Aldi saves us a lot of money. I was doing Walmart grocery delivery before, and I do feel like that was definitely more costly than Aldi. So I'm going to hopefully stick to doing Aldi. It's more difficult because I have to like either bring my kids with me or try to do it at a time when my husband's home. So it's more difficult, but it definitely saves us money. Then our fun/kids. This is like our family fun kids, like kind of another miscellaneous category that we use for like just our kids. We budgeted 100, we spent 25. So again, we were kind of doing a no spend. We didn't really do a ton of things outside the home this month. And again, it's very cold, so there's not a ton to do here really right now. One of our favorite things to do on the weekends is actually go to our local library. If you guys have followed me on Instagram, you know that I am a library lover. My family absolutely loves the library. We go almost every single weekend to get our kids' books and ourselves books. And that has been just a really fun, free activity for us. It's just really nice to get out of the house and go somewhere especially when it's cold and we aren't going outside as much. But yeah, love the library. We'll never stop talking about it. We just absolutely love our local library. So next is our miscellaneous category. So we budgeted 200. There was one thing that came out of this miscellaneous category that made us go over budget, and it's technically not really miscellaneous. It was my husband's Mint Mobile. So my husband and I both use Mint Mobile. I will leave my link down in the pinned comment and the bio if you guys want to check that out. We absolutely love Mint. And the way that Mint works is you actually pay for like a bulk of your membership at a time. So I think he did a 6-month renewal. So we had to pay $150 for that. I think he had a couple of referral credits from friends of his that he had referred. So I think he got a little bit of a discount off. But yes, we had $150 of this was for Mint Mobile. So we actually did really good on our miscellaneous otherwise. But again, I probably could have like split it out and put it into like a cell phone category, but we just put it under miscellaneous and just went a little bit over. That's totally fine. But yeah, if you guys want to check out Mint Mobile, click on that link in my bio or the pinned comment. I will never stop recommending Mint. I absolutely love them. I have worked with them in the past on videos, but this video is not sponsored. It's just my real honest opinion about Mint. We have loved them for quite a while and I have not even noticed a difference in my service. Like we get excellent service. And it's way cheaper. It's about $30 a month for unlimited everything if you sign up for them. So definitely check it out if you're interested, if you're looking to switch from a higher provider. Next up is our dining out, which again, I've already mentioned that we did not eat out at all in January, which is, honest to God, you guys, probably the first time that we have not eaten out in a month ever. I'm not exaggerating, like literally ever. Yeah. Like I literally am trying to think of a time where we did not eat out in an entire month, and I can't. I don't think that it exists. So I'm filming this a few days into February and we still have not eaten out. So I am very proud of that as well. Although I do think this month we will probably eat out a few times. I don't think it's realistic for us to like never eat out again or not eat out the entire year. It's just not realistic for us. We are two working parents. We are very busy. We have a lot of like extracurriculars. Two of our kids are both now going to be in sports. So I don't think it's realistic to say like we're never going to eat out again, but it was really powerful to not eat out at all in January. And I think that's something I really want to keep doing in years to come, is like January, just no eating out, because it was really nice to like start the year off on a really good note and like be really strict on routines and everything. So highly recommend doing a no dining out month. It was really awesome. And I just noticed a lot about myself that we didn't really notice before. Like, it was fun. And it did get easier too. I got somebody messaged me on Instagram and they were like, I don't think I could ever do that. Like, it just is so hard for us not to eat out. And I totally can relate. It's hard for us too. But what I will say is that it definitely got easier as the weeks passed. So the first week was definitely the hardest because we were just in that habit of eating out. So it was like, okay, what are we going to do? Oh, we're going to be out. Like, let's go get lunch, let's go get breakfast, those kind of things. Like, not doing that, it made a new routine where we don't eat out. And so now I feel like it's the opposite. It's like, oh, well, we don't eat out. So like the routine is gone, right? And if you guys have ever read the book Atomic Habits, which I really enjoyed that book if you haven't read it, but it kind of talks like about that, about developing new habits. And a lot of times it takes like, I think they say 21 days to create a new habit. So not eating out for a month, I do feel like has created a new habit for us that we just don't eat out anymore. So anyways, I will not talk too long on that because I'm sure you guys are like, we don't care, lady, about your eating out. But it was a big deal for me. And, that was a big part of our budget and our life for a really long time. My husband and I actually both worked in food service for many years. And my husband actually still works in the restaurant industry. So it is even harder for him, I feel like, because he's surrounded by food at work. So I feel like it's even harder for that aspect, but if we can do it, you can do it too. So be encouraged by that. But anyway, we're going to move into sinking funds now. So we have 5 sinking funds that we currently fund. And then we also are working on a car fund that is separate. So this is like our car maintenance, things like that, like oil changes and that kind of stuff, car registration, blah, blah, blah. This is just our car fund for our new vehicle that we need to buy. So car fund, we had budgeted $150 and we had sent $150. Kids, we budgeted $100, sent $100. Home budgeted $150, sent $150. Vacation $200, and we did send that as well. And then Christmas was $100. So that was that. So all of those were what we had planned on spending. So no changes there. And 1.3 to 2.6. So these are all pretty small amounts, but that's just what worked in our budget this month. And then the only other thing that we had was our car fund, which is our current financial goal that we're working on. And we had sent $2,200 to our car fund, which was at 29% of our income. So let's just go down here to this recap really quick. So our total income again was $7,613. Total expenses, $7,763. So we were actually over budget by $150. If you have followed me for a while, I think our last budget closeout, we had a pretty significant variance in the positive. So we are kind of drawing down our buffer a little bit. It's just kind of how it ended up working out. I really wanted to put more into our car fund. So the way that it ended up falling, I kind of forgot about one thing, and so we went over budget, but that's okay. No worries. We'll just try to be on top of it next month. So that is all I have for you guys for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed my January budget closeout, and let me know in the comments down below how January went for you guys. I will talk to you on Friday for Debt Free Friday. Bye guys.